know you see me on the video.
Yeah.
I know you hear me on the radio.
Okay.
But you still ain't paying no attention.
Let's see what's
so
trending
this is
on
me
TV.
getting your
Let
attention.
me introduce myself, but I already did. Years later, y'all still don't remember the kid?
2021, Yamaha were tasting glory from the Cup of Champions as they wrapped up the MotoGP Championship with Fabio Quartararo.
World champion, baby!
Fast forward 18 months and it's been a slippery slope for the Japanese giant ever since. 9th and 11th respectively in the Riders' Championship, 6th in the teams and last in the manufacturers is a less than ideal scenario for the once kings of the class. So how did the company that once revved our hearts lose its way? And is there hope for a more harmonious future with the iconic trio of tuning forks? Yamaha brought a brand new engine in 2023 at the request of Fabio Quartararo. An engine designed to provide more top speed, aiming to recover from the straight line deficit Yamaha had experienced compared to the other manufacturers in the previous years. Recruiting the expertise of ex-Ferrari F1 engine chief Luca Marmarini, the inline 4 was no longer hampering the riders down the straights, but it came at a cost. The normally sweet handling M1 with its fast sweeping lines has now lost the ability to turn and has become slightly unstable in the corners, therefore their strength has now become a weakness. An area where the Iwata factory has lost out in 2023 in particular has been their one-lap speed, which has resulted in lowly grid positions, with a brace of P4s between Quartararo and Morbidelli being their best qualifying result of the season at Termas and at Assen. This lack of qualifying form has left the riders with a mammoth task of scoring points and even found themselves pushing over the limit. Their woes have been compounded by the fact that they are the only two Yamahas running in 2023 as the RNF team switched to Aprilia ahead of the new year. This has left Quartararo and Morbidelli as the sole riders to gather data, which will mean sending information back to Japan will be a little slower than a manufacturer with more riders. However, there have been positives and glimmers that when in the right conditions, the results will come. Fabio Quartararo picked up a strong podium at the America's GP, finishing 4.9 seconds off the race win, and then repeated his podium success during the Tissot Sprint at the Dutch GP in Assen. Probably the Frenchman's most convincing performance of the year, as he had good pace all weekend, qualified P4 on the grid, and was running with the leaders despite a pre-weekend injury which resulted in a broken toe and bruised ankle, while Franco Morbidelli had one of his most difficult weekends of the year, unable to match teammate Quartararo.
Come va la Yamaha oggi?
Non va male.
It was a weekend that doesn't reflect the progress Frankie has made in 2023. He has been generally closer and sometimes faster than Quartararo, which was rarely the case in 2022. The best case in point was the Argentina GP, where Frankie had exceptional pace all weekend in low grip conditions, while Fabio struggled in comparison. From P4 on the grid, Morbidelli led the early stages of the Tissot Sprint, before eventually dropping back to P4 at the flag. He was on course for a podium in the race before a late surge by Johann Zarco denied the Italian his first podium since the 2021 Spanish GP. Nevertheless, it was a great result and a promising weekend after what had been a difficult 2 years since his knee injury in early 2021.
I feel great.
Unfortunately, Morbidelli has struggled to regain that form since then, and speculation about his future beyond 2023 has increased. Nevertheless, he has proven that when conditions are right, the Italian can pull a good result out of the bag and prove they're still a very talented rider underneath the helmet. Though it has been a challenging year for Yamaha so far, the Japanese brand recognises the need for change. There's no doubt that the brilliant people back at base will already be working on a plan to return the iconic brand back to its former glory. But in the meantime, the aim will be to make the most of 2023, aiming for podiums and potentially even victories when the opportunity arises.
To see more from the biggest MotoGP season, click here and subscribe.